Hey, Sunday night soul timers. I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. Tonight, we are talking boundaries. Not one of the sexier topics, but in the name of really focusing on the foundations that we have in place to thrive. Last week, we focused on a morning routine that's designed to serve you, that really helps set you up for the day. And tonight, we're talking boundaries. Boundaries are the limits you set with yourself and with others that really help you be able to thrive. And it starts by you taking the time to have conscious awareness, total clarity, honesty with yourself about not even just what you need, but what an abundant life looks like, a thriving life, a life that is filled with joy across certain areas of your life. So it's really about you going within, about you being honest with yourself and gaining clarity. So many times we go through life and it's like we wake up one day and we feel burnt out. We feel like we're just in survival mode, like we're just getting by. And it's because we haven't really taken time to give careful consideration and acknowledgement. Again, not just to like what we need, though, what you need is important, but going beyond need, like what would absolute happiness, fulfillment, thriving look like? What is it that is required within that for me to have that? Okay. And so that's the first step when setting boundaries. It's you getting clarity about you, right? Not operating within the realm of what's possible, given the context of, yeah, but my partner, he would never go for that. Or bet that's not even feasible at my current job. So when you do this work, you want to just give yourself permission to actually acknowledge, bring attention and total awareness to if work in my life, for example, or whatever, was completely abundant and thriving, it would be this, this, and this. So not operating in the realm of limitation, but letting the vision of possibility anchored to what you really need to thrive guide you and be your shining light. So here's how I recommend doing it. I recommend you pick two areas of your life, and I'm going to give you examples in a second, and get total clarity again about what abundance, what thriving, over like positive, fulfilled, not just basic needs would look like. Okay. So the first I'll give you, and we did a bit of this last week. So if you didn't do this last week, you can do it now, is just personal time. Personal time, me time, self-care time. When you are living your most abundant, thriving life, what do you need? Now, don't start to censor yourself. Go, I'm not even putting down because I already know that's not possible. No. Get clear. I need this amount of time a day and it to be filled with these types of activities. Again, not in what you think is possible, what you can only need to just kind of get by to be okay. Thriving, abundance. Now, I'm not saying, don't be like devil's advocate and go, and ultimately, all day could be self-care. Find the balance. So don't go, maybe 20 minutes, go, I need an hour a day. I need 2 hours a day. And it's an hour of incredible exercise that's uplifting me. It's an hour filled with self-reflective exercise that fulfill me, meditation, prayer, whatever it is. Okay. I'm just making that up. So what do you need to thrive? Personal self-care. That's one category. Another category, and it's a general category, is emotional needs. Okay. A little bit different than personal time self-care. Some of these can overlap. One can fuel the other, but emotional needs. Have you ever given thought to what emotional fulfillment looks like for you? I'm surrounded by people that believe in me. I have the time and space to feel my feelings and honor all my emotions. I have people in my life that respect my feelings, that help me have time for my feelings, that don't judge my feelings, that give me love and comfort. Emotional fulfillment. I have time for things that uplift me. So, just getting clarity around that. So again, your most thriving, most abundant life, what does emotional fulfillment look like for you? Get clear there. Another potential category is communication. Communications, especially when you get into relationships, it's kind of everything. So my ideal, communication, what I need, what thriving looks like is an ability to always speak my truth, honesty, transparency, lack of small talk. That's me. Lack of superficial conversation. The ability to actually be around others that I get to hold space for. So it's like a two-way street. So, and then what deal breakers are for you. And all of these, get clear on your deal breakers. So deal breaker on personal time, no time. Deal breaker on emotional fulfillment, emotional abuse, right? People that take their bad mood out on me, deal breaker. Deal breaker on communication could be, if you're me, unsolicited advice, right? So just again, taking time to just brainstorm what ideal communication in your world, what you need to thrive looks like. So that could be a potential category. And I would actually say, pick 1, 2 of those 3 categories. If you want other potential categories, if those aren't speaking to you, you could look at finance, money, what does ideal financial life look like for you? What's important in terms of values when it comes to things like finance and money? I want to be surrounded by people that are giving and gracious and, not greed, not scarcity. So that could be a category. Another category might be like fun, social, spiritual. So anyway, you pick the categories, like areas of your life, and you make it all about you on this part of it. What you need to totally thrive and what your deal breakers are for each. Okay. Once you have that, you then go to the aspects of your life where relationships, others are involved. And I'll give you 4 to consider for that. 1, life partner, if you have one. Okay. 2, family and friends. I can bucket that together, or you could just do family. You could just do friends. Work. Okay. So boss, people at work, another category, and then self, or the boundaries you need to set with yourself. And then you take each of your first categories. So the personal time, the communication, what I need emotionally, and you look at what you decided you need, irrespective of who's in your life at the moment, irrespective of, all the other dynamics, just understanding what you need to thrive. And then you look at that and you start to look at each of these segments. Does that mean there's any boundary work to do when it comes to my life partner? I need to ask my life partner to help me have that hour a day for me and to support me in that. I need to ask my family to not give me unsolicited advice, to let them know if I want feedback, I will ask for it. At work, I need to be able to be my whole self. And, I need to ask to be perceived more as confident, not angry, whatever it is. So you take what you need and then you start to just brainstorm, across these areas of your life where, people are involved, life partner, family, friends, work, self. You start to brainstorm. Are there any potential boundaries? Are there any boundaries to create? And for each one, it's really brainstorm, getting just clear on what a potential boundary could be. And you can even have a spectrum within that, a baby step boundary versus if it's a, come to Jesus conversation. And then I invite you to just sit and meditate on that. I'm not inviting you to do anything, and see what you're willing to do now. And if you're not willing to do now, like when you might be and what that might look like. Okay. That's really it. Okay. There's a good, kind of communication template. Sometimes people just get hung up on, I know I need to create this boundary. I don't even know how to approach the conversation. And a general way to go about this, it's really 3 parts, you always want to lead off with, making sure that you are not assuming intent on the other. So, I don't believe this was in your intention. I know I'm not saying this was in your intention. However, when this happens, or when you do this, it impacts me in these ways. It makes me feel like this. Again, I know that's not your intention. I'm not saying it is, but what I need is X, Y, Z, explicit. Can you do that? Okay. So don't assume intent. I'm not saying this is your intention. I know this wasn't your intention, but when this happens or you do this, it makes me feel, it impacts me this way. What I really need is X, Y, and Z. Can you do this? And you have a conversation. Okay. Again, what I will say is, boundaries is not always the fun work, but is necessary for you to be really in a place where you are thriving, not being drained. A really good way to, if you're even stumped by this, is if there are areas of your life that feel heavy, likely a boundary. If there are people you're around and you more than often not walk away not feeling good, feeling drained, feeling heavy, good indicator or clue there might be a boundary there that needs some attention, that needs to be communicated. So we have to take ownership for what we need to thrive. We have to take ownership in terms of conscious awareness and bringing clarity to that. And then we have to do the work to let people know what we need, right? You're responsible for you. They're responsible for them, but take ownership for you, for your creation, for really being sure that you're receiving what you need. Yeah. It's the healthy starting point to living the life of thriving. So that is it for the Sunday Night Soul Time. I hope you found it supportive. Be back soon with more. Sending you a ton of love and a beautiful week ahead. Bye for now.